coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today we jump right into this new season with an AFC South matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. Very short kick taken right at the 20. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Let's go now.
Now the NFL's leading rusher in 2021, Jonathan Taylor. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
It's on the throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. On 3rd down, here's Richardson. This one completes Alec Pierce. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. But there you go, Charles, the first completed pass of his young career.
And we expect it not to be his last. Very good to get the first one out of the way, though, as he begins his career.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football.
And the tough thing is when he goes back and reviews the film, he'll see that he already escaped the pocket. He could have gotten more himself by using his legs, and that might have been the better choice there instead of challenging the zone. A miscalculation on his part, and he pays for it with the interception.
Ready, set.
They run with a rookie from Florida, Dameon Pierce. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
He has enough for the first down on the keeper, a gain of 6.
Come on, set. Set.
Stroud to the air on 1st and 10. Over the middle, complete. That's Pierce. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, short tackle.
On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
Play action. Here's Stroud. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. On fourth down, they'll try and run for it. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid fourth down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. First and 10, it's Stroud. And this one too low. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And the Colts are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points no matter what. At worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans are going to get it back here just past the 35.
And Brandon, how many times have we talked with these rookies out there, and then we finally hear from them, the game slowed down and they're able to handle things? Not so far for this rookie, because right now, back-to-back drives, they picked him off. Not college football anymore. He's got to find a way to handle what these defenses throw at him.
They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And this will be a Texans first down as good running gets him to about the 44.
Let's go.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Ready.
Stroud sets up the play action. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads. And he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defensive credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. DeForest Buckner with a sack, the former number 7 overall pick. No score after 1 on EA Sports.
Ready.
For the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down.
Ready.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll bring up fourth down.
Got it. Let's go. Charge.
Fourth down, Stroud going to try to throw for it. And he's got his big wide receiver complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. We don't see too many conversions on 4th and 10, but we just did there. A gain of 14 and a first down. First and 10, it's Pierce. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Stroud is hit, and the ball is loose. And the Colts pick it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. And they put it on the ground here on the second drive. And, of course, Charles, that follows drive number 1 where they had the INT.
Makes you wonder what's going on with this team, because a lot of times we can attribute it to nerves, but maybe it's a lack of focus. Maybe it's the preparation for the game. Maybe they just came into a little lackadaisical, because that's just not looking good at all. That's just not the football that we came here to see.
Following the fumble recovery, Richardson. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Richardson on 2nd and 10. That one finds Pierce right side. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a first down. A nice completion there for the first down. And, Charles, you think about the quarterbacks of recent vintage that have been thrust into action week 1. It's no guarantee of future success, but we sure have seen some good ones.
We certainly have, partner. How about Joe Burrow with the Bengals in 2020? He was excellent. Kyler Murray with the Cardinals. The best part about his game, has his team right on the brink of the playoffs. And Deshaun Watson has won division titles after having started from day 1.
Second down, another run with Taylor. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. He gets nothing on back-to-back runs, so now you're dealing with a 3rd and 10 and probably a passing play.
I would agree with that, and I would highly suggest to the play caller, check a different part of that section on your play sheet, because his first 2 runs didn't help you at all. Find someone else who can touch the ball and maybe move it downfield.
Richardson shotgun on 3rd down. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it off, and the Texans are going to take possession of the football. So his struggle is just continuing here in the first half, throwing the football. Charles got 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know, they've always said, I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
Tyquan Lewis makes a stop. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game, because you know this defense.
The pass finds Mechie in the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. John Mechie, his first NFL reception, goes for 6. And the Texans post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them bunched up at the end of the year, That's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. He finds Pierce. It's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. 1st and 10, it's Richardson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Desmond King picks it. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. It just appeared there that the defense, they had that read from the moment the ball was snapped. And not only did they get the interception, add a nice return on top of it, all the way to the end zone for a defensive touchdown.
Yeah, and the guy made the play. He gets the points. But it really was a group effort, wasn't it? How about the coaches? They've got to be so excited. All the preparation, time in the film room, it translated into a big play that put points on the board for their team.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
Let's go now.
The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Okay, break.
First and 10. Here's Richardson with it. Escaping the pressure right. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big...
And my goodness, another interception. Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough, but... man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. And we'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Fields it right around the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Okay, ready?
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Ready?
Stroud. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. Pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
That's complete to Pierce. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Nice first down pickup there by Alec Pierce. If you want to talk about underrated athletes from the 2022 draft, you must include his name. Excellent size, runs a 4.4 40, and can jump out of the building.
And now here is another interception. Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Stroud out of the gun here. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
Here we go.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Stroud on 3rd down now. Throwing left side, it's complete. He's at the 30. 10, 5, touchdown, Houston. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces, to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Rolling to his right. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Steven Nelson. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football.
Well, let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the second half. Want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder, because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. A nice throw right there, and these fans getting their first look at their QB1 of the future. And I'd imagine it's got to be a big plus for him to get his first start here in front of that home crowd.
I know there's a school of thought about getting your first start away from home so you don't have the extra pressure of that crowd behind you. But I say ride the wave, embrace it. Go ahead and play to that level, and I think it's going to benefit him in the long run.
Running with Elliott. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. So give him the first down. First and goal after a pickup of 4. And the decision to go for it pays off.
Ready, ready.
And they'll try to run the option here. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. It's their quarterback. Now with his 3rd touchdown in his first ever NFL game. And the Texans are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around. And now here is another interception. Derek Stingley picks it. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, Jeff. Remember, with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he has a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Gets the dump off to Pierce. And the Texans are going to have a first and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line. And Stroud now to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal. Off the RPO, he completes it. Touchdown! A great effort there. Making quite a splash with his second touchdown in his NFL debut. And the Texans get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how.
And my goodness, another interception. Desmond King picks it. And the Texans are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
Well, it certainly felt like he was going to challenge this defense no matter what. And he stepped up and tried to throw it to the outermost edge of the zone coverage. And they were more than ready for him. The problem now is if they are limited in what they're doing throwing the football, they got to figure out how to move it without being able to throw it to the outside and throw it downfield.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Let's go now. Smash, smash. Ready.
Pierce now up the middle, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
52 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Flush to his right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Well, up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Play action. Stroud now. And, oh, it's incomplete. Oh, that would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in. The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Stroud to throw it. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Now, if you're going to get rid of it, you better get outside the pocket.
Yeah, you have to get outside of that tackle-to-tackle box, right? Get out there, and then you can do it legally, but he wasn't able to do so, and they end up losing the down as well.
Here's Cameron Johnston now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback.
Go!
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That is caught. Michael Pittman with it. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Richardson to the air on 1st down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans 36. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Again, it's Richardson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Taylor. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. So that a nice throw, but it hasn't really turned out to be the grand debut that many had hoped for. His team's down double digits. And what have you seen, CD?
About what I expected, really, because for a youngster making his first.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And the Texans force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
Ultra! Go Ultra!
On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And Pierce gets it again on second down. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Let's go.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Throwing now is Stroud. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a fourth down situation. Fourth down. Here's Stroud. Man open. That's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. Pierce takes it straight ahead. And he is going to lose yardage here. DeForest Buckner using that size to force his way in there and make the stop behind the line. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 22-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a superior effort on both sides of the ball.
And didn't it feel like you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, and then the defense jumped up and said, hold it, we're getting involved as well. You're exactly right. Big points, both sides contributing, a full team win.
So for the Texans, you can't ask for a better start as they pitch a shutout here in the opener. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville.